Alright, the next section is clinical notes. I'm going to select a test patient, test D2. Something new with our update will be this medical history review. When I open the chart of a new patient, I have an opportunity to update their medical chart. This is something that we do at the beginning of every appointment anyway. We take blood pressure, we ask if there have been any changes to medical history, we review systems and allergies. Now this will be a prompt where you can easily make changes on here, and that will transfer immediately over to your clinical note, so it will be easier. In updates there will be a section that asks about blood pressure. At this point you can put blood pressure and respirations in this section. If they have pain, you can chart that as well. So as an example, let's give an update here. It looks like this patient has to pre-medicate, takes Adderall as a medication, has an allergy to latex. Let's say they found that they have an allergy to penicillin as well. They pre-medicated, took penicillin, they need to have a different pre-medication. So medical alerts, they still need to pre-medicate, no change. Medications, no change. We have a change to their allergies, we click that. They come in today, they're not in pain. We put our BP and heart rate here, we'll just leave it like that for right now. So when I hit that there was a change, it comes up and it asks me what my change will be now. I said penicillin because it's one of our most common allergies. We'll click that and bring it across. A quick side note as we're doing this training, these medical alerts, medications, and allergies have been pretty incomplete in the history of our clinic. We're going to be updating that and making sure that even if the specific medication isn't there, at least a category for the medication like ACE inhibitors or something like that is there so that those things can be moved over. What this is going to do, they want us to not use flags like we've used in the past, that flags are always popping up all the time because that behavior just causes people to not read the flags. So now I've updated my penicillin allergy, I hit OK. Great example, we have an alert that comes up right away. And more flags. See, those were good flags that popped up, but a lot of times front desk doesn't need to see it. We'll get into more specifics of how the flags need to change. So I did that medical history review, and that will now be in my chart notes. The one thing I want to show with flags before we move into an actual clinic note, we had those two flags that showed as we opened the patient's chart. I'm going to edit this flag here about narcotics. The patient does not want narcotics in rehab. As they came through and did a training, they wanted us to get more specific with when we put our flags up. They never want us clicking all anymore. There's no reason that the front desk, when they're entering a payment, needs a flag to pop up that says the patient does not want narcotics. So you'll see this note under prescriptions and patient chart that has been put in. So anytime I open the chart, it reminds me that I don't want to write prescription for narcotics. Anytime I open the prescriptions to give a prescription, it gives me that flag. So it's appropriate. This may also be a thing that's a temporary condition. Let's say that this patient reported that they were pregnant, so they couldn't have x-rays. That's something that we can put an end date on, 6 months out or whatever it is, instead of clicking always. And by default it has a year here. So something to keep in mind, we just want to be more judicious with our flags that we put on our files, because as is, people are not reading them and we're using them more as medical alerts than we are true flags. But use them appropriately, and let's be more selective than to just select all. Okay. Now we're going to be moving into the clinical note section, so please go there with us.